Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you all being here today. I have Jan from New York City Saves Money. She's not alongside with me, but she did send me a clip that I'm going to put on here in just a minute. She has a really good recipe I think all of you will like. I'd be willing to try it as well. I do believe at some point I do remember having a variation of what she's about to mention. So let's go ahead, bring the video in, and or the clip rather, and then I'll be back. So here we go.
Hey, Steve. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for having me here. The price of meat is worse than I've ever seen in the last few weeks, at least in my area. And I'm sure many other areas, even simple things like margarine has gone up, and that's not meat. Margarine, imagine, went up 40% in some areas. That is just, anyway, I don't want to elongate that point too much. However, you get the idea. If we could reduce our use of meat and swap it out for other things that are very relatively inexpensive, I love my homemade meatballs, but sometimes I also like to have my own homemade rice balls, but it's easier to flatten them down like a hamburger into a patty when you're working with them. I'll tell you about it in a minute. What you're going to need depends on how much you want. So I suggest for like two people using 1 cup of cooked rice. Okay. I mean, 1 cup of dry rice to make it cooked. So you should yield enough for two people. 1 egg beaten. Okay. A handful, eyeball it, Parmesan cheese grated. A handful, eyeball it, ground parsley, the dried one. Okay. A little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder to taste, how you like it, a pinch of regular salt, a pinch of black pepper. This is optional, but it works. It's really nice. Put a handful, again, eyeball it, of shredded mozzarella cheese. Throw that in. If you have any leftover deli ham, you could cube it up into small pieces and you could add that to the mixture. Or if you have leftover, don't make it ahead of time, just happen to have it. Anything else you want to add, like maybe even some bacon or whatever you have, just to give those little salty bites. Oh my gosh. Then you fold it all together into your cooked rice mixture. What I like to do, I like to formulate them into little balls and then I flatten it down as if a hamburger. But don't forget to put about 1/4 cup of Italian flavored breadcrumbs in that mixture. Okay. Some people put a little extra on the outside, totally optional, totally up to you. A great idea is to put those patties in the refrigerator for, I would say, about a half hour. Let them firm up a little bit. Okay, then when you're about to make them, you heat up, go about 1 or 2 turns of the oil into your frying pan, very shallow oil, very little oil. Use the oil you have on hand. Canola works, vegetable, olive oil, whatever you have on hand. Remember, we're watching our pennies. So I'm not going to say go get olive oil when you have vegetable oil that could do the trick. Remember, it's only 1 or 2 little turns of the oil in your skillet. So you're going to heat that up, and then you're going to put the patties on. Keep an eye on them, okay? You don't walk away. You don't make a phone call or anything of that nature. And you cook fry them until it's like golden brown on one side. Flip it over, golden brown, or even lighter than that, because you got to be careful with rice. Rice kind of could burn and get a little on the crunchy side if you're not careful. But when they are done, oh my word, can I tell you something? They are a delicious, delicious. You could have it as the main part of your meal. You can make them as appetizers with something else. They are really good. Tell you a fast story. I made them once for a party, and this was cute. My 2 nephews thought it was a private collection for them. They literally inhaled them. I went back to get the plate to share. It was gone. That's how good they came out. So if you try it, let me know how you like it. I've heard versions, some people air fry it as well, but this is the way I've made it. All right. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take care, Steve. Thanks for having me. Bye, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Jan. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned prior to the clip, I have had rice balls before, and the way that I had it, I believe, was prepared in a similar fashion to the way that Jan does hers. And they are really good. Um, I myself, when it comes to using oil to fry with, olive oil is a goodie. Yes, that can be on the pricey side, but again, I'm loyal to one brand. I've been using it. My mom used it. My grandmother used it. It may even go back before that. I do believe, my sister may even use Pompeian. Pompeian extra virgin olive oil robust. It is a good quality. It is a good oil. Yes, it's real olives. So I've been using that. It gives a good flavor. But on the other type of oil that she had mentioned, she also mentioned canola and vegetable oil. Of those two, I personally prefer using canola. The reason why I prefer the canola is it has a cleaner texture and taste about it. You get more flavor of the food and less of that greasy, oily aftertaste. So that's one of the reasons why if I had to use a type of oil, maybe to do any type of deep frying or that type of thing, although I do have an air fryer as well. And an air fryer does extremely well because it takes out that greasy like taste, but it gives you that fried like taste to it, but you don't have all the oils like you do when you deep fry. But in the case of deep frying, I prefer the canola over anything, but that's just me. All right. Well, I want to thank Jan from New York City for sending me that clip. And I want to thank all of you this afternoon for tuning in to watch this. Be on the lookout in a couple of days on Saturday for another upload, most likely a premiere. I usually like to do a premiere on a Saturday. So, all right. Hope all of you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you over the weekend. Bye.